So I want to talk about, or a little bit about women's boredom. All right, boredom in a relationship, because well, we're gonna see about it, right? We're gonna see about it. So this is a couple clips. So let's check this one out.
Bored with monogamy much sooner than men. Women get bored with monogamy much sooner than men.
That's not what men think.
No, men think she's not interested in sex. And what they should probably replace it with is that she's not interested in the sex she's gonna have. In order to want sex, it needs to be sex that is worth wanting. For women to remain interested, it needs to be interesting. Women get bored.
And here's the thing. I mean, that is the thing. The woman is not interested in sex with you anymore. She's not. This is the thing with women, where sex in the beginning used to bring passion, used to bring like excitement. After a while, for women, it's monotonous. It's monotonous. Nothing special. But in my personal opinion, sex is sex. Okay, I mean, like, what? How much foreplay can you do where it is exciting for women? That's the thing. Where, in my honest opinion, after a certain period of time, there's little you could do. There's little you could do, because you gotta think foreplay, right? I get it. You gotta get her in the mood. But here's the thing. Let's say you've been doing a couple things. I don't know. The kisses. Okay, well, after a while, kisses is nothing. Kisses really doesn't get her in the mood. Let's say, I don't know, going down on her. Okay, getting her in the mood. Well, after a while, she's probably not in the mood with that either with you. That doesn't help, because in my honest opinion, what is more exciting is someone new, something different. It's the problem is that it's not different. That's the thing. So in my honest opinion, if women are bored with sex, that's in their hands, because there's little for a man to do that's going to be spicing things up. It's women's mentality. Okay, they're going in. It's always boring. It's always boring because the same man. He's doing the same thing over and again. Because you imagine, you're with a woman for years. What can you do that's different? Really nothing. After years of being with a woman, there's very little things that you can do that's different. Especially if you're not stepping out of a relationship, right? Swinging and all this other shit, okay? So what women would do is go for another man, because it's different. It's exciting, right? It's not the same thing. So that is why I honestly believe why 70% of divorces are filed by women, because she's bored of you. And this was enlightening. I never thought about that. Why do women? What is one of the reason why women synonymously are the ones to end sex in a relationship, in a marriage? Because she's bored of you. She's bored of sex with you. And like I said, to be honest, there's little a man can do, very little. So women would rather not even have sex with you than leave you. Certain women, okay. So they might as well say, let me just cut out sex, because I'm bored of it. I don't want to do it anymore because it's boring with you. So you know what? Let me just keep my stable man, okay? Because he's stable. He's a good husband. He's a good father. He's stable. Let me just keep him, but take away the sex. It's easy, because then she really doesn't have to do nothing. It's like she don't need to go through the motion with sex. So that's why women easily take away sex with men.
In heterosexual relationships, it is the wife that gets bored first, studies show. And typically, they are bored after 1 year of marriage. Yeah. Not to say that men don't get bored as well. They just don't get bored as quickly as their wives. And when they do get bored, it's usually around year 3 to 4.
What is it that women get bored of after a year?
So a lot of them report that it's about the monotony. They're starting to find that they're taking on a lot more of the labor. We talk about mental load. Invisible labor is a hot topic online right now as well. And when they're not getting great sex, when they're not getting good orgasms, and then they're having to take on responsibilities to...
Hannah, what's up? I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well.
kind of care for or tend to their husband's life, whether that's doing more of his laundry. Again, more about being outside of agreements about how you split work. When relationships are less egalitarian, there is less sex. So there's a few factors that I think go into it for women when they start checking out from their sex life.
For me, the point you're making is work
Mhm.
ethic.
Yes.
If he doesn't have a strong work ethic outside of the bedroom, he's not likely to have a strong work ethic inside the bedroom. And this is why I say use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule and do that full examination. Because part of what I bring in my life is work ethic. And you will see that in the bedroom as well.
Interesting stuff. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it a little bit.
In heterosexual relationships, it is the wife that gets bored first, studies show. And typically, they are bored after 1 year of marriage.
I did not know that. I mean, I knew that. I didn't read the study. I kind of glanced over it before a while back. I knew that women are the ones who more likely or sooner than men get bored in a relationship. I didn't know about after 1 year of marriage. That's interesting. That's very telling. That is this is a thing where I find it, I don't know, it's just, because this is a thing where I find it interesting that a woman can be with a man, for like years on end in a relationship. But once you hit the threshold of marriage, after 1 year of marriage, now you're bored. I find that very fascinating because I don't understand that mindset. Because I'm going to talk about this a lot in this clip. Because what's up? Because I don't understand that. Why weren't you bored, the third year of the relationship? Why weren't you bored the fourth year of the relationship, but you're bored after the first year of the marriage? We're going to talk about this with the sex too. Is like, why wasn't the sex boring? The second, third year of the relationship, but the sex is boring after the first maybe second year of the marriage. I find that interesting.
Yeah. Not to say that men don't get bored as well. They just don't get bored as quickly as their wives. And when they do get bored, it's usually around year 3 to 4.
What is it
that was interesting too? I didn't know that. I mean, that's interesting that men would get bored around year 4. That's interesting.
women get bored of after a year?
So a lot of them report that it's about the monotony. They're starting to find that
Monotony. Okay. This is a thing where I believe men don't get bored easily because men, in my personal opinion, can be and often are habitual, right? Men can do the same things over and over again. Not all men, of course. There are certain men that, they prefer the more crazier life. So that's why there are certain why men don't divorce as often, in my personal opinion. They can do the same things over and over again and really don't even think twice about it, right? To men, if they can do, like, let's say their sports or watch their sports, work on their cars, do certain hobbies, maybe eat their same favorite dishes or same dishes that they like, day in, day out, men are content. That's the thing. Men easily can be content. Women aren't. I don't believe women can easily, they're not usually content with life. Women, maybe a dangerous thing. They always want more. They always want, there should be more in life, right? There should be more in life. You should be doing more. And the sad part is that you can't, right? Certain people, there's only so much you could do, especially, let's say, a certain lifestyle you have, okay? Kids, you can't do so much. A marriage with a partner that's, working, you can't do much.
that they're taking on a lot more of the labor. We talk about mental load, invisible labor is a hot topic online right now as well. And when
The whole the labor thing, it's like, I don't know. The mental load, emotional labor stuff. I'm going to make a video talking about what I think about women's emotional labor. Might be controversial with that, but I want to break it down. I want to learn about it as well. Okay, I hear it a lot. I hear so much about women's emotional labor. I want to dive in a little bit deeper into that. So I will definitely make a video on that. I don't know. Are women doing more than they used to? I don't really think so. I honestly don't really think so, because here's the thing. There are studies that are showing that men are actually doing more and more in the household, right? They're doing more domestic work. They're doing more child rearing, child care work. So men are actually contributing more and more to the household. So
they're not getting great sex, when they're not getting good orgasms, and
they're not getting great sex and good orgasm. Were you getting great sex before the marriage? Were you getting good orgasms before the marriage? Because this is the thing. I think this is why, in my personal opinion, women don't take relationships seriously, in my personal opinion. They don't take, they don't think about it. Because what I believe, women constantly go about relationships where things will change. He will change. How the relationship is, it will change. Our I don't know, financial status will change. Women constantly believe things will change. How he treats me will change. How he's in bed will change. How much money he'll make will change. In my personal opinion, that is insanity. That is, because that's hopium. You believe, you hope he will change. You hope things will change. There's no proof of it. There's no proof of it. Like, so a lot of women go into relationships thinking, oh, whatever I don't like about him, whatever I don't like about the relationship, it will change. So I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to accept the proposal. I'm going to sign the marriage certificate. I'm going to be in this relationship, be in this marriage. And then realize, wow, it hasn't changed. The sex hasn't changed. The orgasm hasn't changed. His money status hasn't changed. And then they like, wow, I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. And I'm bored. I don't like this. I want to leave. I want to see if I can get better. I want to see if the grass is greener, because you didn't change. Things didn't change. So I'm out. And that is the insanity. I honestly believe there's no study on this how I think about how I view this, but I really think that this is how women go about relationships, thinking that whatever they may not like about a particular relationship or a particular man, they, in their mind, they would think things will change, so I will stick it out, only to see that, you know what, it hasn't changed, and then they will leave. And I think that's absolutely idiotic. Absolutely idiotic. Especially when you make certain levels of commitment. This is why, in my personal opinion, and I find it crazy that I've seen this, where if a man was in a relationship with a woman for 10 years, so really, if she was with him as a boyfriend and girlfriend for 10 years, and then he proposed to her, she should be fine. She should be happy. Because if 10 years and she was happy throughout, or she was fine throughout this 10-year relationship, marriage is just an end all, an ending to the whole thing, or just like the what is it, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's it. But you went through the rainbow. You walked through the whole rainbow, and it was fine. But when you listen to that kind of scenario, women hate that. Women hate that. It's like, why? I've seen women got mad that, you know, oh, 10 years now you propose to me, but you were happy throughout this 10 years, or you were fine with the relationship for 10 years. The marriage or this proposal is just the, you know, the icing on the cake. Because again, if you were fine throughout 10 years, you should be fine now in a relationship, now in a marriage. A lot of women, in my honest opinion, aren't in a relationship long enough with a man, or they don't put enough effort in getting to know the man. Okay, I said this before. However, in my personal opinion, how I've said this in a relationship, what you see now is what you'll get on my deathbed. So whoever I am now, you should like it, or no, it's either you like me who I am now, or you don't. That's it. Don't hope. Do not hope that you were getting someone that's going to be different later on. Stop with that shit. Stop with that. I think that's the most stupidest thing women do. They think that this man would change. That is idiotic. Get with the man, okay? However you see is the red flags, the green flags, whatever you see. This type of man, you better hope that he is you're getting this type of man for the rest of your life. If you don't like it, don't be with him. A lot of women are wasting their time with that mindset where he will change. I hope he will change. I think he will change. Something that I hate, I wanted to change. Stop it. Stop that shit.
And then they're having to take on responsibilities to kind of care for or tend to their husband's life, whether that's doing more of his laundry. Again, more about being outside of agreements about how you split.
Do more of his laundry. In my honest opinion, okay, honest opinion, laundry is not like, with women having so much modern day conveniences. It's like, I really don't understand. Taking care of the household isn't like what it was, let's say 50, 60, 70 years ago. It's not. Women make it seem like taking care of the household is such a uphill battle. It's such a monumentous effort. It isn't. It really isn't. I mean, it's, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not saying that it's not much of it. I'm not saying that it's no effort. There is a good amount of effort. I just, like, you make it seem like it's the most strenuous job ever. It really isn't. Especially with modern day conveniences.
At work, when relationships are less egalitarian, there is less sex. So
less equal. This is why I said, in my personal opinion, I've said this before, where women cannot handle, okay, providership relationships, i.e., men leading, okay, men providing, men soul, right? Soul purpose in the relationship is provide and protect. Women can't handle it because, honestly, she's gonna have to take all the burden of the household. She's also can't handle, my personal opinion, where if whoever makes the money makes the rules. Whoever makes the money makes the rules. So if he's providing, he's making the rules. So women can't handle it. I've said this. I think most people, most average people, which is most people, 50-50, okay? Equal relationship, partnership is how it goes. I honestly think women are so idiotic. The whole constantly desiring provider men. You can't handle it. You can't handle being in a relationship with a man that provides. You can't. Particularly once you're married and have a family. Yes, women are fine with, like, you know, in the relationship, a provider boyfriend. Yeah, because you don't need to do nothing. You're not really living together. So, you know, you go out on dates, he pays for everything. You go on a trip, he pays for everything. He gets you gifts. Yeah, okay. But once that threshold hits marriage, hits family, guess what? That man is going to expect you to, he will still provide, he will still give you the life that you've been having. But now you have 100%, if not, I mean, maybe 80, 90% of household duty, of, childcare duty. Can you handle that? Most women, in my honest opinion, can't. Average women cannot. So this is why I've said the best type of relationship for most people, most average people, is 50-50. You're contributing, he's contributing, financially. You're contributing domestically, he's contributing domestically. Okay, as equal as possible. You're contributing to the care of the children, he's contributing to the care of the children, as equal as possible. You share in all duties. Okay, as much, however you guys determine it, right? As equal as possible, where you both don't feel overburdened by anything, and you don't feel taken advantage by anything. So you're both sharing as much of all duties as much as possible. I believe 50-50 is more suited for 50-50 partnership. It's more suited for most people, because most people cannot handle old school traditional type of relationships. He provides, you do domestic work. I don't think so. So
There's a few factors that I think go into it for women when they start checking out from their sex life.
For me, the point you're making is work
Mhm.
ethic.
Yes.
If he doesn't have a strong work ethic outside of the bedroom, he's not likely to have a strong work ethic inside the bedroom.
it's kind of stupid. He's going to work. He's providing. So really, no, it's not work. I mean, it's like, I think maybe you say domestic mindset, because if a man's working hard, he has a decent work ethic.
And this is why I say use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule and do that.
No kissing for a few months dating rule. That should also go with, again, fine, no kissing. You could no none of those affection, cool. But also, both you are going Dutch 50-50. You both paying for the dates. One of the worst things is any person feeling taken advantage of. Do not. That's the reason why people are not able to do certain things, because they feel like they're being taken advantage of. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Full examination, because part of what I bring in my life is work ethic, and you will see that in the bedroom as well.
I don't know. What do you guys think? This is a topic that I talk about often, right? Women getting bored, how all that stuff, where women are the ones to more often than not leave relationships. So we'll talk about that often. We'll talk about more.